Okay, so this is our star performer this year. Hi folks, I'm the star of this show, Tom the Turkey.
As I was going over the Cork and Kerry mountains, I met with Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. I first produced me pistol, and then I drew me rapier. I said, stand and deliver, for you are a grand saviour. Usher-in-da-ma-doo-da-ma-da, whack full the daddy-o, whack full the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
All right, I'm gonna open the door.
You gotta be careful though, right? Those guys bite.
He won't bite if he's getting fed. If I don't feed him, he'll take my hand. You guys were really young when he passed away.
Right, so tell us something about me.
But you would have been cognizant of him.
Was he grandma's husband?
Yeah. Great-grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was,
Papa's parents.
Right. It was, yeah, my dad's mother and father, Flo and Jake.
And how old was he when he died?
I don't remember him at all.
So he'd have been,
I don't think-
he would have been in his 80s.
80s.
Late 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
And he'd gone through some interesting things. I mean, he had diabetes, and at, I want to say in his, it must have been his 60s or so, he lost a leg.
Yeah.
They put a prosthesis on him, and within 6 months he was driving a tractor. and I would go with him. He used to drive a truck into Atlantic City. He was what was called back then a huckster.
What's that?
There was people who had farms, and they would take and fill up their trucks. Think of a farmer's market where the farmer drove his truck around the towns.
Just going around.
And people would buy corn, and he had
cool.
fresh chickens, and
Farm to table.
This was truly farm to
truck
table.
to table.
But he went into all, like he'd go into Atlantic City, into the.
So Grandma didn't move to Atlantic City until after
He died.
he died.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's the only
And
time
the
that's all I
farm was
remember.
the exact
of her.
same land that Papa farmed?
Yeah,
So it was
oh
just
yeah,
the
yeah.
same
The
land?
house used to be at the other end of the farm. So anyhow, he would go into the poorest sections. I mean, we'd go to Mediterranean and what's the two lowest end? Baltic
cheapest
and
things.
Mediterranean.
The purple ones,
Yeah, the purple ones in Scrabble, or not Scrabble, Monopoly.
yeah.
And we'd go out there,
Baltic.
and I would help him, and we'd the watermelons, we grew those, and strawberries and everything, and we bring whatever was in season. We'd go on the truck, we'd load it up, and I was a little young to drive at that point in time, but he was driving. He'd lost a leg, and he was back on it and hanging out. And then a few years later, Dad always worked on the farm with Grandpa, but this meat market came up for sale back in 1956, 57, and Dad decided to buy it. We had a little house on Adams Avenue, the same street the store was on, just a few blocks down. And as I looked at it when I was older, the place was so tiny, I couldn't imagine how the five of us ever lived in this place, but we did.
Did
It's the doily
Jake
generation.
die before Flo?
Yeah. 3 or 4 years, or not even, about 3 years after he lost his leg, he lost the other one. And everybody was really, this is it. And about 6 months later, he was back up and around, using a cane and a walker or whatever, but he ended up driving again.
How can that be?
DMV let him.
He had enough control to be able to do it. And he'd get up in the truck, he'd get up in the tractor, and he did that. He was just a stubborn.
Amazing.
As stubborn as they come.
It
Don't
could
know
have
anything
been
about
like,
it.
Did you like him?
legal.
I did, yes,
Right.
of course. Yeah, he was a character. There's a great story. I have to send you the article about him and one of his brothers. His brother got shot down by the Coast Guard during Prohibition because they were running booze. And
Did you like
Shipping up to
Grandma?
New York and, yeah.
yeah, she was tough to like,
That
but
was a
she,
big,
Why?
well, she was just.
Was she bitchy or was she
Oh no! She just
grumpy?
no.
Why was she tough to like?
She just wasn't warm. I mean, Grandma wasn't a warm person.
I don't know.
She grew up in a time when,
people aren't warm.
yeah, it was tough. I mean, you know, if you
The
look
winters
back
are
into
cold.
those times, a lot of people will tell you. I mean, there's a lot of stories about abuse and, you know, families breaking up and all because the father would just go, heading out of Dodge, got up one day
Just
and
left.
never was seen again. But anyhow, so Grandpa
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
did finally die.
Yeah, of diabetes. And Grandma lived to 99?
97, 96.
97, 96.
Dad died at 65, Mom died.
Well, but Dad died because of the pesticide, or because
Well,
of
we don't know for
chemical
sure, but
spraying
he
of the
got
crops,
cancer and
DDT.
just took him out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he was a great guy. I love my dad.
Yeah.
So did we.
Yeah, he was always a
Lovable
character.
What was the
guy.
best?
Yeah.
Now, what do you remember about?
My mom, yeah, I think you know my
We
mom.
know my mom.
Yeah, I mean, you know the story about going. You guys were all
Is
there.
everybody making money?
Yeah,
She
but
said we
when
got to the
my
house.
no, the trip we took down
Yeah.
to Woodbine.
Oh no, I heard this story. That is a most amazing story.
It was a very
Very
amazing
spiritual
thing.
kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. No,
Is that the only
was-
time you met her?
It's like she didn't want to trouble anybody.
That
I
was
think,
the only
well, they're all here. It's the perfect time.
Yeah.
No, it's just the way
I
it
don't
all
get
went
anybody to
down.
fly in. Yeah.
That
it
was
was magical.
phenomenal. Yeah, it was magical.
Whose house was it that we went to down there?
We were-
Years
we were,
before. No, years before I met her at a house down there. There was a
That was her-
trampoline in the back.
Yeah, that was her
house.
house. She was living with
Uncle Richard.
Uncle
and Aunt
Richard
Lola.
and Aunt Lola,
Yeah.
and she had her own little like
RV.
No, it was a,
it
no,
was
it
like
was
an
a
actual
little
house,
cottage.
little cottage.
Next door it was a one bedroom, not even a bedroom. I mean, it was
So
like
she kept calling me Heath, and I was
Yeah.
just like, "Yeah, we're not gonna change that. I guess it's fine." Heath's
So
a
she
good
called,
name. I
she
like
called him Heath, but then
Why?
I don't know.
she was talking about
She's allowed to. I don't know. I mean,
Just roll with it.
yeah, it's easy.
She made us-
I could be Heath for a day.
we walked. We were barely out of the car, and she was, you know, she was doing well, but she wasn't doing.
She was doing well.
She was doing
right?
well, yeah.
She's just,
We were barely out of the car, and she already had like the whole table. She had pulled out all the tuna salad, pulled out all the food,
Uh-huh.
and her phone had like, I swear to God, the numbers on her phone, each like one was this big, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6.
well, she had
like had to
she
call.
had macular degeneration.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's.
So she would like pick up the phone and was like,
The worst day of her life was when she lost her when she couldn't drive.
She liked
Yeah,
driving.
of course, anybody's day would be
Well,
that.
yeah,
Well, she really liked driving.
Yeah.
Samurai pizza cutter.
You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant.